Well, hello my magical darlings, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I am so excited because I am taking part in the Disney Forgotten Favourites collaboration. So every single month we are going to talk about a Disney Forgotten Favourite, a Disney movie that should be spoken about a lot more, and this month is very exciting because it is a favourite Disney movie of mine. It used to be in my top 5, it's not in my top 5 anymore, but I still absolutely adore this movie, and that is the Disney movie Tarzan. And Tarzan is definitely a forgotten favourite. It is absolutely incredible. It is such a beautiful movie and it definitely needs to be appreciated more, so I'm very excited to be doing this video. So this collaboration was put on by Jossum over at Awesome Jossum and Syria over at DreamItDIY. They are amazing hosts, so please go and check out their channel and send them some love. Also, there are so many amazing Disney content creators taking part in this collaboration. Some people are going to be doing DIY videos, some people are going to do collection videos, some people are going to do lookbooks, which I am personally so excited for. And yeah, so many different types of videos. So please go and check out everybody's channel. I will leave them linked in the description box down below. For my video, I thought that I would talk about the top 5 scenes that I love in Tarzan. So I've got all my notes down here in my book. So the way I'm doing this is I'm doing it in order of like how they're shown in the movie, so in order of the scenes in the movie. My first favourite scene from Tarzan is actually early on in the movie. It's kind of at the beginning, and it is when Carla saves baby Tarzan from the treehouse and from Sabo the jaguar, I think he is. I'll insert a clip. But yeah, it's when Carla saves baby Tarzan from Sabo, and she just shows us that she is a badass gorilla, a badass mama, such maternal instincts. Like, she wanders up to the treehouse because she can smell something a little bit different, and it turns out to be a baby, it turns out to be Tarzan, and she just looks at him, and oh my gosh, this scene is so beautiful. They lock eyes, they instantly fall in love with each other, and she instantly knows there and then that she wants to care for Tarzan. She wants to look after him, maternal instincts. She's an amazing mother. She wants to be his mother. She knows there and then, so she goes to take him out of the treehouse. Sabo turns up, the jaguar I think he is, or is he a cheetah? What one is he? And obviously he wants to get baby Tarzan for dinner or lunch, to put it frank. So Carla has to try and get baby Tarzan to safety, and she is a badass and she puts up such a fight in this scene. Like, it's a whole ordeal of her trying to save baby Tarzan, and it's just amazing. The music kicks in and it's just like shivers on your back. You're like, come on Carla, get a baby Tarzan to safety. It's so emotional. But I just love that scene because it shows how amazing Carla is, and she shows how much of an amazing mother she is, how much of a protective queen she is. We just stand a queen. Carla is the ultimate badass. And also another part I love, it's technically not the same scene, it's like a minute afterwards, but it's leading into it, so I'm going to count this as one scene. It is when Kojak and the gorillas first get introduced to baby Tarzan through Carla, and she says, he's going to be my baby now. And obviously Kojak, the alpha gorilla, is like, that's not going to happen, he's not one of us, he's a human. And again, Carla shows that she's a badass queen. She stands up against Kojak, puffs her chest out, and she is like, I'm going to be his mother now. She's like, he is mine, I love him, he is one of us. And I just think it is incredible that she stands up to Kojak. She is such a badass babe. Also, another line that I completely forgot about in that scene is when Kojak is like, he's dangerous, he's a human. And again, she stands up to Kojak and she's like, does he look dangerous to you? And the way she says it with such emotion and such power and protection, like, does he look dangerous to you, just absolutely destroys me. And in that moment you get a brief little like idea about what the movie is trying to tell us. The movie is trying to tell us that deep down we are all the same, we are all one, and that is why it is one of my top 5 Tarzan scenes. Let's move on to number 2. So the second scene that I want to talk about is the waterfall scene. Now this is a scene where you first get introduced to all of the elephants, but more specifically baby Tantor. And baby Tantor is the cutest little guy ever, one of my favourite Disney animals. I just love elephants anyway, so of course I'm gonna love this scene because elephants are my favourite. But baby Tantor, the first introduction, is so cute, and it has one of the funniest moments in the entire film. I literally burst out laughing. It is such a funny, chaotic scene. The reason why it's chaotic is because Turk, the baby gorilla, the sassy baby gorilla, who I adore, I love Turk, she basically convinces baby Tarzan to go and get an elephant hair. And the reason why she does this is she's kind of embarrassed that baby Tarzan, a human, is hanging out with her and the other gorillas, and she wants to be cool in front of the gorilla. So she's like, you know what, Tarzan, you can only join us if you go and get a baby elephant hair. She thinks that Tarzan won't actually do it, but Tarzan, being very wild-hearted and desperate to fit in with the gorillas, he does it. So he goes to the waterfall and he causes an absolute chaotic scene. He scares all of the elephants. They start freaking out. Water is going everywhere. Everyone's stomping around. Absolutely chaotic. Turk is having a panic attack because she literally thinks that Tarzan is going to get stomped on and it's going to be all her fault. She didn't think he would actually do it. So she's having a major panic attack, which is hilarious. And then you've got all the elephants freaking out, which is funny. Tarzan is just going around trying to get this elephant hair, and the reason why the elephants are freaking out is because they think it is a piranha. We first get introduced to baby Tanto in this scene, like I said, and he's about to dip his foot into the water, and he says the iconic line which everybody loves, which is, "Mom, is this water sanitary? It looks questionable to me." Funniest line. It is so cute. Little anxious Tanto is like, "That water does not look sanitary to me." And he goes, "There could be piranhas, Mom." And the elephants then are having this huge debate saying that piranhas don't exist in these waters. And then about 2 minutes later, here comes baby Tarzan, a little human boy, trying to get one of their hairs. So they don't know what a human is. They've never seen one before. So they instantly think, oh my gosh, it's a piranha. And that is where the chaos ensues. That is why everybody goes berserk, because they think it's a piranha in the water. And it's just such an hilarious scene. And I love that we meet baby Tanto in that scene. So cute, so funny, chaotic. And a really cute moment is just after that chaoticness calms down, Turk starts shaking Tarzan and he's basically saying, "You could have died, what were you doing, blah blah blah." But he's like, "At least you're alive, you're alive." And then baby Tanto, the baby elephant, who doesn't have a clue what this whole situation is about, literally just starts going, "Oh, he's alive!" Like, he gets excited anyway, and it's like, you're not even in this conversation, you don't know what's going on. But it's so cute because he gets excited anyway, and he's like, "He's alive!" And then he finds out that the reason why this all happened was because baby Tarzan wanted a hair, and then baby Tanto picks up his bushy tail, and he's like, "A hair? Well, I've got hundreds. Here we go." It's so cute. I just adore baby Tanto, and that scene absolutely melts my heart. It's just chaotic. It's so fun. It's cute. I love elephants. I love gorillas. So perfect combination. So that is my second favorite scene. Let's move on to number 3. This next scene is one of my top 5 ultimate favorite scenes. It is incredibly emotional and so beautiful. A lot of you will probably know which one it is. It is the "We Are Exactly the Same" scene. Now, if you've watched the movie, then you'll definitely know what I'm on about, but if you don't, then I will tell you about it now. Get ready to get emotional because I will probably tear up talking about this scene. It really gets to me. I'm starting to get emotional now. It ruins me. But let me talk to you about this beautiful scene. This scene takes place after Kojak has told baby Tarzan that he will never be one of them. He will never be a part of the gorillas. He is a human. He is different, and he will never be the same as them. That obviously breaks baby Tarzan's heart because all he wants in the world is to be a part of the gorillas, to be one of them, to be the same as them. So baby Tarzan goes away with his heartbreak, and he turns up to a little lake with this all mud everywhere, and he sits down in the mud and he stares at his reflection in the lake. And he realises that, of course, he does look different to the gorillas. He's actually a human. And his little heart breaks. And then what he does is he scoops up all of the mud and he starts putting the mud all over his face, all over his body to kind of look more like a gorilla. And then, of course, Mama Carla turns up at the moment we need her. And she looks at him and she's like, "Tarzan, what are you doing?" She tries to cheer him up, but Tarzan is heartbroken. And then all of a sudden he gets very angry, very frustrated, and he bursts out, "Look at me." And then I'm getting upset now. So he bursts out, "Look at me," and he's angry. And Carla looks straight at him and she's like, "I am Tarzan." And the way she says that breaks my heart because she's basically saying that you're no different to me. I love you. I'm getting upset. What the hell? I've seen this film like how many times and I still get emotional. But she looks straight at baby Tarzan and she goes, "I am Tarzan." Has to say, I don't see you any different than any of the other gorillas, any of the other gorilla children. You are one of us. And then Carla very cleverly looks at him and she goes, let me see. I see 2 eyes. I see a nose. I see 2 ears. And she's telling him everything that she sees that's symmetrical on them. So 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose, a smile. So he starts cheering up, knowing that he's got 2 eyes, a nose, 2 ears, just like the gorillas. But then Tarzan goes to put his hand up and he puts it up against Carla's. And obviously her hand is a gorilla hand and his hand is a human hand. So once again, he is reminded that he is not technically one of the gorillas and his little heart breaks all over again. Carla sees that instantly and it kills her inside. And then once again, she's a very clever mama. Carla then tells Tarzan to close his eyes and forget what he sees. So he does. He closes his eyes, he forgets what he sees, and she puts her hand on his heartbeat and she says, "What do I feel?" And he's like, "My heartbeat." And then she takes his hand and his head and she puts it on her chest and she goes, "What can you hear?" And he goes, "Your heartbeat." And he realizes again that they've both got a heartbeat. They are both the same. And I think that scene is so beautiful and so incredible and so meaningful. And like I said, it gets me very emotional. Just that moment of him resting his head on her heartbeat. And it's such a precious, beautiful scene. Then the instrumental of "You'll Be in My Heart" kicks in, and it is such a beautiful song, but the instrumental is even better, just like the music of it. Once again, showing us the most important moral of the story, which is that we are all the same. Let's talk about my number 4 scene. That is a struggle. What is that? Is that a 4? Why is that so hard to do? I can't do 4. Number 4. My number 4 favourite scene from the movie Tarzan is when Tarzan and Jane first meet, and it is so cute. So more specifically, it is the scene when they are both sitting on the tree and they are both talking. They're both trying to speak to each other for the first time, and obviously there's this massive language barrier. So it's very cute, it's very precious because of the language barrier. It's just beautiful to try and see them connect, even though he speaks gorilla and she speaks human or speaks English. And just the way that they are trying to connect with each other and try and learn about each other, trying to get each other's names. And it's incredibly awkward, but at the same time really endearing that they're both trying to break through this language barrier. And then of course you have the iconic moment, the beautiful moment when they put their hands up against each other and Tarzan realizes that she's actually a human just like him and that their hands match. And it's just a beautiful scene. And also what's really funny about that scene, which I probably shouldn't find funny, but I do, is the whole Tarzan lacking boundaries, because obviously he doesn't know what's right and wrong and he's going way too close to her. Like if Tarzan did that to me now, as cute as he is with coronavirus going on, I'd be like, "Honey, get back for me." But it's so hilarious because he's trying to like sniff her, trying to get her scent, and he goes really close to her and starts sniffing her neck and everything, and she's probably like, "What is this person doing?" But obviously he doesn't know any better. So that scene is absolutely hilarious. So I do kind of like it for that reason as well. And the final scene that I'm going to talk about, the 5th scene, you guys are probably going to judge me and say, "Dee, why is this included in your top 5 scenes? Are you sick in the head? Are you cruel?" Because when I tell you, you're just going to be like, "Dee, that's a very sad scene." But it is Kerjak's end, shall we say. I don't want to say DEATH because that would be a bit grim. But yeah, the DEATH scene of Kerjak, his acceptance. That's what I like to call this scene, is Kerjak's acceptance. So it is the scene before Kerjak sadly passes away, and before he does, he mutters out a few words to Tarzan. The most meaningful and powerful words that Tarzan definitely needed to hear. I have the exact quote here, so here are the words that absolutely break my heart, and that is, "Forgive me, my son, for not seeing that you have always been one of us. Our family will look to you now." How heartbreaking is that? Forgive me, my son, for not realizing that you have always been one of us. So he's basically showing that he's always loved Tarzan, even though he didn't say he did, and even though he never showed he did. Deep down, he knows that he's always loved Tarzan, and I suppose that deep down he's kind of known that he is one of them. He just didn't want to admit it to himself because Tarzan is technically a human. And the fact that he tells Tarzan, "They will look to you now, all the gorillas are in your control," basically, that shows that he trusts Tarzan to look after the entire herd of gorillas. He has full trust in him. And it's that moment when Tarzan looks up the sky and then he looks at all the gorillas. And sometimes you don't need any words to convey how that character is feeling. He just looks at all the gorillas and you can tell by his face that he is like, "Okay, I'm in charge now. Kerjak trusts me, this is my family, and I will protect them." Such a beautiful scene. So that was the end of the video. That was my top 5 scenes of Tarzan. Let me know what your favourite Tarzan scene is. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. Ooh, the tea. And thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, then please do like this video and consider subscribing, because that will help me a lot and I'd be ever so appreciative. And if you are returning, thank you so much. You guys know that I love you. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all safe. And of course, stay magical. Bye guys!